I will say action, thank you. Action. Yes, I'm here. Sixth period with sixth grade. God help me, I'm losing my hair. Can you see that? All right, everybody. Yeah, I know. That's why it's funny. Right. All right, everybody say hello. Hi. All right, where were we? Shh. All right. And silence. And look at the control I have of this classroom, right? And silence. Ooh. Vizzini was waiting for him. Indeed, he had set out a little picnic spread. How romantic. From the knapsack that he always carried, he had taken a small handkerchief. And do you say handkerchief or handkerchief? Who says handkerchief? Yeah, do you really? 50 years ago, they would say handkerchief because that's the way it spells. Now I think we just say handkerchief. Anyway, moving on. On the handkerchief, he had placed 2 wine goblets. In the center was a small leather wine holder, and beside it some cheese and some apples. The spot could not have been lovelier. A high point on the mountain path with a splendid view all the way back to Florin Channel. Buttercup lay helpless beside the picnic, gagged and tied and blindfolded. Vizzini held a long knife against her white throat. "Welcome!" Vizzini called when the man in black was almost upon them. The man in black stopped and surveyed the situation. "You've beaten my Turk," Vizzini said. "It would seem so. And now it is down to you, and it is down to me." "So that would seem too," the man in black said, edging just a half step closer to the hunchback's long knife. With a smile, the hunchback pushed the knife harder against Buttercup's throat. It was about to bring blood. "If you wish her dead, by all means keep moving," Vizzini said. The man in black froze. "Better?" Vizzini nodded. No sound now beneath the moonlight. "I understand completely what you're trying to do," the Sicilian said finally, "and I want it quite clear that I resent your behavior. You are trying to kidnap what I have rightfully stolen, and I think it quite ungentlemanly." "Let me explain," the man in black began, starting to edge forward. "You're killing her!" the Sicilian screamed, shoving harder with the knife. A drop of blood appeared now at Buttercup's throat, red against white. The man in black retreated. "Let me explain," he said again, but from a distance. Again, the hunchback interrupted. "There is nothing you can tell me I do not already know. I have not had the schooling equal to some, but for... Not equal to you, even, maybe. He might not have even gotten through middle school. Who knows? It's a mystery. He could have just gotten through kindergarten, like Bill Gates. I think Bill Gates only got through, but I don't know. He never went to college, though. We know that. So it could be Bill Gates and the Sicilian. They could have been brothers. Who knows?
Yeah, they could have been secret siblings.
Secret siblings, sure. "There is nothing you can tell me I do not already know. I have not had the schooling equal to some, but for knowledge outside of books, there is no one in the world close to me. People say I read minds, but that is not in all honesty true. I merely predict the truth using logic and wisdom, and I say you are a kidnapper. Admit it." "I will admit that as a ransom item, she has value, nothing more." "I have been instructed to do certain things to her. It is very important that I follow my instructions. If I do this properly, I will be in demand for life. And my instructions do not include ransom. They include death. So your explanations are meaningless. We cannot do business together. You wish to keep her alive for ransom, where it is terribly important to me that she stop breathing in the very near future. Has it occurred to you that I have gone to great effort and expense as well as personal sacrifice to reach this point, and that if I fail now, I might get angry? And if she stops breathing in the very near future, it is entirely possible that you will catch the same fatal illness, meaning death. I have no doubt you could kill me. Any man who could get by Inigo and Fezzik would have no trouble disposing of me. However, has it occurred to you that if you did that, then neither of us would get what we want? You having lost your ransom item, me my life. We are at an impasse then. Oh, look, vocab board. By the way, vocab quiz on Monday. Vocab quiz on Monday, you watching at home. I mean, not people who aren't in my class. This doesn't apply to you. You can relax. If you're a 25-year-old man who's watching this, no vocab quiz for you. I fear we are at an impasse then, said the man in black. I fear so, said the Sicilian. I cannot compete with you physically, and you are no match for my brains. You are that smart. There are no words to contain all my wisdom. I am so cunning, crafty, and clever, so filled with deceit, guile, and chicanery, such a knave, so shrewd, cagey as well as calculating, as diabolical as I am vulpine, as tricky as I am untrustworthy. Well, I told you there were no words invented yet to explain how great my brain is, but let me put it this way. The world is several million years old, and several billion people have at one time or another trod upon it. But I, Vizzini the Sicilian, am speaking with pure candor and modesty, the slickest, sleekest, slyest, and wiliest fellow who has yet come down the pike. In that case, said the man in black, I challenge you to a battle of wits. Vizzini had to smile. For the princess? You read my mind. It just seems that way, I told you. It's merely logic and wisdom. To the death? Correct again. I accept. Begin the battle. Pour the wine, said the man in black. Vizzini filled the 2 goblets with deep red liquid. The man in black pulled from his dark clothing a small packet and handed it to the hunchback. Open it and inhale, but be careful not to touch. Vizzini took the packet and followed instructions. I smell nothing. The man in black took the packet again. What you do not smell is called iocane powder. It is odorless, tasteless, and dissolves immediately in any kind of liquid. It also happens to be the deadliest poison known to man. Bum, bum, bum! Don't be afraid. It's just a book. You all right? You okay? Should I go on? Okay. It's just a book. I can stop reading if it's too scary.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So
Are you okay? All right.
Has anyone ever wanted you to stop reading because of that?
No, not so far. But I mean, I can't account for the people at home. I don't know. If you want me to stop reading, make a comment down below. But at this point, it would be too late because I'm just going to continue anyway. So never mind. And subscribe. May I continue? Vizzini was beginning to get excited. I don't suppose you'd hand me the goblet, said the man in black. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. I don't suppose... Now you guys have got me lost. I don't suppose you'd hand me the goblet, said the man in black. Vizzini shook his head. Take them yourself. My long knife does not leave her throat. The man in black reached down for the goblets. He took them and turned away. Vizzini cackled aloud in anticipation. Probably something like that. The man in black busied himself a long moment. Then he turned again with a goblet in each hand. Very carefully, he put the goblet in his right hand in front of Vizzini and put the goblet in his left hand across the kerchief from the hunchback. He sat down in front of the left-handed goblet and dropped the empty iocane packet by the cheese. Your guess, he says. Where is the poison? Guess, Vizzini cried. I don't guess. I think, I ponder, I deduce. Then I decide, but I never guess. The battle of wits has begun, said the man in black. It ends when you decide and we drink the wine and find out who is right and who is dead. We both drink, need I add, and swallow naturally at precisely the same time. It's all so simple, said the hunchback. All I have to do is deduce from what I know of you the way your mind works. Are you the kind of man who would put the poison into his own glass or into the glass of his enemy? You're stalling, said the man in black. I'm relishing is what I'm doing, answered the Sicilian. No one has challenged my mind in years, and I love it. By the way, may I smell both goblets? Be my guest. Just be sure you put them down the same way you found them. The Sicilian sniffed his own glass, and then he reached across the kerchief for the goblet of the man in black and sniffed that. As you said, odorless. As I also said, you're stalling. The Sicilian smiled and stared at the wine goblets. Now, a great fool would place the poison in his own goblet, because he would know that only another great fool would reach first for what was given. I am clearly not a great fool, so I will clearly not reach for your wine. That is your final answer? No, because you knew I was not a great fool, so you would know that I would never fall for such a trick. You would count on it, so I will clearly not reach for mine either. Keep going, said the man in black. I intend to. We have now decided that the poison cup is most likely in front of you. But the poison is powder made from iocane, and iocane comes only from Australia. And Australia, as everyone knows, is populated with criminals. And criminals are used to having people that trust them, as I don't trust you, which means I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you. The man in black was starting to get nervous. But again, you must have suspected I knew the origins of iocane, so you would have known that I knew about criminals and criminal behavior, and therefore I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me. Truly, you have a dizzying intellect, whispered the man in black. You have beaten my Turk, which means you are exceptionally strong. And exceptionally strong men are convinced that they are too powerful to ever die. Too powerful even for iocane poison. So you could have put it in your cup, trusting on your strength to save you. Thus I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you. The man in black was very nervous now. But you also bested my Spaniard, which means you must have studied, because he studied for many years for his excellence, and if you can study, you are clearly more than simply strong. You are aware how mortal we all are, and you do not wish to die. So you would have kept the poison as far away from yourself as possible. Therefore, I can clearly not choose the wine in front of me. You're just trying to make me give something away with all this chatter, said the man in black. Well, it won't work. You'll learn nothing from me, that I promise you. I've already learned everything from you, said the Sicilian. I know where the poison is. Only a genius could have deduced as much. How fortunate for me that I happen to be one, said the hunchback, growing more and more amused now. You cannot frighten me, said the man in black, but there was fear all through his voice. Shall we drink, then? Pick, choose, quit dragging it out. You don't know, you couldn't know. The Sicilian only smiled at the outburst. Then a strange look crossed his features, and he pointed off behind the man in black. What in the world can that be? He said. The man in black turned around and looked. I don't see anything. Oh, well, I could have sworn I saw something. No matter. The Sicilian began to laugh. Or something like that, I'm sure. I don't understand what's so funny, said the man in black. I'll tell you in a minute, said the hunchback. But first, let's drink. And he picked up his own wine goblet. The man in black picked up the one in front of him. They drank. You guessed wrong! Oh, wrong voice. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get confused. You guessed wrong. Much better. You guessed wrong, said the man in black. You only think I guessed wrong, said the Sicilian, his laughter ringing louder. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. There was nothing for the man in black to say. Fool! Cried the hunchback. You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less known is this. Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line. He was quite cheery until the iocane powder took effect. The man in black stepped quickly over the corpse and then roughly ripped the blindfold from the princess's eyes. I heard everything that happened, Buttercup began, and then she said, oh, because she'd never been next to a dead man before. You killed him, she whispered finally. I let him die laughing, said the man in black. Pray I do as much for you. Bum, bum, bum. Question, where is the Sicilian from? Because my last class was confused. They asked me if the Sicilian was from Italy.
I think it's from,
Where is the Sicilian from?
I don't know.
Where was the Sicilian from? Where are Sicilians from?
I don't know. Spain.
Spain. Kangaroos. Sicilians, believe it or not, are from Sicily. What? That's why they're Sicilians. The same way Spaniards are from Spain, which also broke their brains at one point. They thought they were Spaniels. Spaniels is something completely different. But on the subject of the Sicilian, we got a few more minutes. On the subject of the Sicilian, why did they give Inigo a backstory, do you suppose? They gave Fezzik a backstory, but they didn't give Vizzini a backstory. We learned all about, we learned all about the backstory of Fezzik. We learned all about his childhood and growing up, the same with Inigo, but we didn't learn anything about Vizzini. I saw your hand first, yes.
Because he died.
Thanks, Emily.
Mr. Warren, because he didn't go to school as much.
He didn't go to school, so that's why he didn't deserve a backstory? So a lesson to you at home. Stay in school, and you'll get a backstory.
Yeah.
Yes, Emily.
Because he died.
Because he died, so people...
There's no point in giving
So
him a backstory.
there's no point in giving people who die a backstory.
Yeah, because it's just a waste of time.
But, like-
why would you care?
Everybody dies, though.
Well, he died.
And a lot of people have been written about who have died.
Oh!
Yeah, like Benjamin Franklin, who's not in this book. What?
We have to go get our phones.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. They have to go get their phones. So, all right, we will pick this up tomorrow. Everybody say goodbye. Oh, Lord. Middle school madness.